Radio Rahim here with Eddie Hearn. We're in Sheffield, England. Another fantastic fight night you've put on. Usually, I'm here to congratulate you.
Yeah. We haven't lost one for a while.
It's been a while. Yeah. This one was a good one, and it delivered on what they expected by the fans, But for you, I know that you're close with Kell Brook, and when you saw that eye swell, we talked about it before the fight, were you immediately concerned?
I knew it was exactly the same injury. It was just a different eye, which, you'd expect the right one to have problems again, but not the other eye. So, it's very unlucky, but, Errol Spence caused the injury. He deserves the win. He was excellent. And, for the first half of the fight, we were very comfortable. I thought Kell was dominating the fight. And then, he got the injury. Maybe the weight was tight, or maybe Errol Spence was just too good. Maybe a mixture of all of it. But, tough to take. And, we'll have to have a sit down and see how bad the injury is, assess it, and then go from there.
Obviously, you've spoken to your fighter by now. What was his spirits like, and what is his take on going forward in the fight game?
I think it's too early to say. He's very, very disappointed because, he asked for this fight and he asked for this event and he got it all, and he didn't want to lose in front of his home fans. It was very difficult for him to accept, and I think the next few weeks are going to be painful, not just with the injury, but also accepting that he's lost his belt. He's no longer world champion, and that's going to be tough to take. So we'll see what he's about. We'll see how much he wants it. We'll see how much he wants to come back. And I think he has a big future at £154, I really do. But again, we'll have to assess the injury and go from there.
You tried to convince him to go to 154 pounds before this fight, but then this begs the question, with the one eye, I don't know what's the left with Triple G, the right with Kell Brook, or vice versa, I don't remember, but if he's taking shots like that and getting injuries like this at not only middleweight, but then also welterweight, what are 154-pounders going to do? Is it something he needs to consider, like maybe, injuries can stop a fighter's career?
I think the injury on the right eye has been fixed. There wasn't a problem in this fight, and the one on the left eye is going to have to be fixed. But it's do you want to go through with the injury? Do you want to go through another camp? He's earned a lot of money in his career, but it's not really about the money. He likes to achieve. He likes the nights. He likes the competition, and there are some big fights out there. So again, it's too early to say at the moment. We're going to have to assess the injury and go from there.
It's a difficult question because both these guys are warriors. I don't think anybody questions that, but did Kell Brook quit tonight, or how are you calling this loss?
You can call it what you want. I think most people who say he quit probably don't. I've seen a few things on Twitter, but at the end of the day, the guy can't see. He's got double vision in his eye, and he's taking a lot of shots and a lot of punishment. And at what stage do you say enough's enough? Some people, I guess you could say, well, I don't care. If I had no eyes, I'd be still in there swinging. And normally they're people that have never been inside the ropes. But I know Kell Brook. I know the way he came back in the 10th round. That injury was done in the 7th round. He boxed for 4 rounds with it. He gave it enough time. By that stage, and looking at the judges' scorecards, he was too far behind on the fight. He wasn't going to stop Errol Spence. So what was he in there fighting for, other than to take further damage and maybe lose his sight?
I've got to let you go, but before I do, we'd be remiss if we didn't at least mention George Groves, his tremendous win, finally putting that strap around his waist. Obviously, you guys have got a long history, ups and downs. But tonight, when you saw the ref jump in, what was your initial emotions? How do you feel about this moment?
I was very pleased with him. I spoke before the fight. I wanted him to win the fight. Like I said, I've had our differences with George Groves, but generally we can pick up the phone and talk. It was a big win for his career tonight. Puts him in a really good position in the marketplace. And he got a great reception. It was a very entertaining fight. And people, I think, potentially fell back in love with George Groves tonight. And it's been a while, So best of luck to him. And, I think that I'm very pleased for George Groves.
Well, big up for you because boxing fans and people around the world are falling back in love with boxing tonight and the many nights, and you're partially responsible for that.
Appreciate that,
So
Rahim.
Thank you very much. Radio Rahim with Ed Hearn, Matchroom here in Sheffield, England.